So we have done these alternatives. So group 1 will go to level 2 for phonics, and you can take group 2 in level 3 phonics. So A can give 3. A has 3 alternative spellings. U has 3 alternative spellings. O has 3 alternative spellings. Oi has 2. I has 3. O has 4. Ow has 2. J, soft G. E can have 4. 3, soft C, and F. Okay. So now PH. PH are Greek words. They're derived words. So now whenever you have P and H together, it will always be F. Okay. You will not have it H, but it will become F. Okay. With this, we finish alternative.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
You said there was a rule when there are 2 vowels, the first one does the talking, but this one O-I, is that an exception because we are saying both the sounds?
I told you these are diphthongs. O-U and O-I are diphthongs. They are not digrams, they are diphthongs.
O-U and O-I.
Yes. So OW sound and OI sound are diphthongs. So it can be represented by OI also, it can be represented by OY also. OW sound can be represented by OU also and OW also. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah. Then we have these tricky words. So tricky words you will have to teach along with these. So what you can do is when you are teaching, suppose A alternatives, so you can have one tricky word. Okay, any one tricky word. So for tricky word, we have a tricky hat. You can make such a kind of hat. Now, what is the difference between tricky word and sight word? Sight word, what is sight word? Sight word is high frequency word. That means a word, for example, you open a book and you find a word coming again and again. So that is called high frequency word. And such common words are called sight words because what happens is the child does not have to blend it again and again because it is a repetition. So he just see it and read directly. So that means it becomes a sight word. Now, tricky words. Why we call them as sight words also? Because we do the same with the tricky words. We make the child see that word again and again, okay, so that it becomes a sight word. So every time, okay, you will show the word, so that becomes, you keep on saying I, so that becomes a sight word. So in Jolly Phonics, we have 72 tricky words divided into 7 groups. The first group is blue. Okay. Okay, so 72 tricky words are divided into 7 groups. So these are these are blue. First group, 12 words. Okay, but now they have upgraded the Jolly Phonics app, and here you will find 12 groups. So initially there were 6 groups. Each group was having 12 words, but now each group is having 6 words. So you can count 2 groups as one. Okay, so the first group you have to take with 42 sounds. Okay, after group 6, okay, when you finish this group 6, the answer sound, then you have to take group 1 tricky words, 12 tricky words. And then when you start level 2, then you will have remaining 60 tricky words. So you can divide 60, 30 and 30. So 30 words you have to teach with first group of alternatives. Okay, here you can see group 1 alternatives. With group 1 alternatives, you will teach 30 words. So 12 are yellow. Okay. Then you have pink. So half of the pink you will take. Okay. And remaining half brown and orange. These 30 words will go in with alternative group 2. Okay. Now, yesterday only I told you that each alternative you have to go very slow. At least 1 week, 8 classes can be taken for these. So when you take 6 alternatives and you have 30 tricky words, that means one alternative means you have to take 5 tricky words. So if you are taking suppose 10 classes for this, okay, so you have to teach 5 tricky words. So maybe you can take 1 tricky word, then second day you can repeat the same, third day you can take the next tricky word. But why we call them sight words? Because you need to display. So if it is an offline class, you can display. Suppose this is first tricky word. I will place it here. The child will enter and read the word. Second day the child will read both the words. Then third day the child will read all 3 words. So this is displayed on these all words are displayed one by one on the day. So at the end you have all the 72 words on the wall. So they are sight words. But definitely in offline class it is not possible. So what you can do, you can ask the parent to do the same. Okay, you can ask them, you can have this as a craft activity where they can make this and they can place it in their on their wall. Okay, so ask the parent to keep placing and make a word wall. So whenever the child enters, it will become the sight word. Okay, and also there is a rhyme. There's a video on YouTube. You just type Jolly Phonics 72 tricky words. You will have that rhyme. So what I used to do is whenever my children used to come to the class, I used to play that video and I used to mute it. And they have to speak. The words keep coming. And initially I used to play. If I have to teach that sound, then I used to play with volume. But the next day for repetition, they used to speak. Okay. So when you play the video from starting, so they keep repeating. Suppose today is the 30th tricky word. So the children will repeat all the 30 words and then we'll learn 31.
Do we have the rhyme for that?
It's not a rhyme. The words keep coming. I,
Okay.
the, he, she.
So do we have that for that?
Yes, it is. You just type on YouTube, Jolly Phonics 72 tricky words. It is there.
Okay.
Okay. Also, Jolly Phonics A to Z. If you type, you will get A to Z sounds. Okay. So you just have to type. It will come there. Okay. So this is the way how now tricky words are tricky. So you have to be creative to teach them. One thing is teaching them as a sight word. The second way to teach a tricky word is find out the tricky part. For example, can you tell me what is the tricky part in the first word, the?
Because E is silent, so they might read it D or
Exactly.
or something.
So
The E.
Yes, let them read and let them say the, the. Now you have to tell them that it is a very tricky boy, or you can say very tricky child, who is tricking you by giving the wrong pronunciation. So let us put him in the jail because he is breaking the rule. So this is a kinesthetic activity. Okay, the children will get up. You can have a craft where you can ask them to make a little house or room or prison with bars.
Ma'am, what activity did you say?
Yeah, that is what I'm explaining. They can have a prison, jail. Okay. So when they are learning these tricky words, for example, she. So the tricky part here is E. Okay, because the child will read sh, eh. So it is not that the entire word is tricking, only E is tricking. So the child should know, oh, do you hear she? She is going or she is going? What is correct? She is going. Do we say like that? Or we say she is going? The children will say she is, because these are high frequency words. They are commonly used. Children already know that what is she. They know she, he, I. So they'll say she. So you will say, okay, let us put this tricky word inside the jail because it tricks. It is tricking you. It should say she, but it's not saying she. It's saying she. So then when you give dictation and you say she, they will remember, oh, that was put in the jail because it had to say she, but it said she. Okay, so this way. And there are many other ways through which you can teach these tricky words. You have to be creative. It is all about repeating because anyways they have to mug up because they don't follow phonics. So if they don't follow phonics, that means they have to mug up. And if they have to mug up, every child is different in mugging up. Some have good, you can say, mugging up ability, but not every child. For them, it is, you have to use different ways, make it auditory musical, or you can sing something, or visual, so you can play video, kinesthetic where they can play something. So that way you have to, the first day I told you there are 7 types of learners. So kinesthetic, oral, musical, social, interpersonal. So all these, so you have to do so many activities to teach tricky words so that all of the children can understand. We don't know that which type of learner the child is. So we will have to do everything which is possible. Okay, sometimes you can ask them to get some buttons. They can use those buttons and make the word she, sometimes clay, sometimes salt, salt tray, sand tray. So this way you can be creative, crayons, so many things are there. So when you keep repeating and say that, okay, let's write this tricky word in the salt tray today. So they will enjoy and they will remember.
Ma'am, this is part of a tricky word list, or is it part of that magical E wala thing?
Tricky.
No,
Tricky.
it's a tricky word.
Yes.
Magical word, the E comes when, one word we are already pronouncing, like, for example, at, and then we added E to it, so it became it.
It should have a short vowel, but there is no short vowel here. Okay. The short vowel, then a consonant, and then E, then it is a magic E word.
Okay.
But here, after this short E, we don't have a consonant and we don't have a magic E. So after the vowel, there is no consonant and there is no magic E. So it's a tricky word. Now see, what happens is, right now the child is young, he doesn't know. Okay, so for him, it's a tricky word. But in Jolly Phonics, after doing Jolly Phonics, the children go for Jolly Grammar. And we have advanced spelling rules. There we have the rule for this also. So then it will be a regular word. But right now we cannot explain that rule to the child. The rule here is it's an open syllable, and in open syllable word, the last vowel will always give a long vowel sound. Okay, but then our 4-year-old child cannot understand this. Got it? For you, it is easy to understand. Open syllable. Now, what is a syllable? What is a syllable? You can check the syllables in a word by doing this chin bump method. Okay, so when you say she, how many times your chin goes down? She.
One time.
So it is one syllable word. Okay, so if the vowel is not enclosed by a consonant, then it is called open syllable. But for example, if I put a consonant here, for example, if I make this word shed, if I put a D here, so I have closed the vowel. When you close the vowel, it is short. And when you keep this open, it is long. So that is a rule, but this rule we cannot explain at this stage. So for right now, it's a tricky word. But then later we will, when we teach that in an open syllable word, the last vowel gives long sound. So then it will not be a tricky word. Okay. Clear? So basically we have finished our Jolly Phonics where we have done 42 sounds, spelling rules, alternatives, tricky words. So you have a program now with you of around 6 to 8 months. 3 months you have to take for 42 sounds. Next 2 months you can take for alternatives and 30 tricky words. Next 2 months you can take for remaining alternatives and remaining tricky words. So I can say a year plan you have now. If a child comes to you for phonics, you can enroll him for the entire year where you can have this jolly program. Okay, we will do few more rules today, which even if you don't do at this stage is okay, but as a teacher, you should know. Okay, but I am not covering very advanced rules, but there are basic rules, which I'll tell you. Okay. So we have done soft C rule. Okay, now there's a rule called floss rule. Okay. What is a floss rule? Okay, which letter is coming at the end?
S is coming at the end.
And I is a short vowel, right?
Z is coming.
And U is a short vowel.
B.
Which letter is coming at the end?
L.
And which is the short vowel here?
O.
Okay. And one more we have S, Z, L. Okay.
F is the last one.
Yes. So this is also called miss. Okay. Miss. And the L. Hill. Buzz. Off. Okay. Miss, hill, buzz, off, or it is also called as floss rule. Now, do you know what is the word floss associated with? Tooth?
It is.
Tooth?
Yeah.
Okay, so we have a story here of
Floss is a thread which we use.
what?
Yeah, it's related to tooth. Floss is a thread which we
Yes.
use.
Yes. Okay, for tooth. So there's a tooth fairy. Okay. So there's a story. Okay. And we have the words here. So what you will find that whenever you have short vowel and L, then it gets doubled. Okay, one short vowel. In the word, you should have only one short vowel, and then you have L sound, then it will get doubled. Okay. If you have Z, it will get doubled. If you have S, it will get doubled. So S, L, Z, F, they will get double in one syllable, one vowel word, which is a short vowel. Can you give me some examples?
Ma'am, S, L, Z and?
F, L, S and Z. Okay, so these are the words. I'll call, jazz, okay, stuff, ash, grass, buzz, puff, okay, pull, off, dress. So floss rule, which says after a short vowel, if you have l, s, z, or which is the sound, then that letter gets doubled. Double L, double S, double Z, and double F. This is called floss rule. One vowel ending with L, S, F, or Z, then L will be doubled, F will be doubled, Z will be doubled, and S will be doubled. Clear?
Ma'am, it is called Floss Rule because of the story with it.
No. This is the resource which I have where there's a fairy and these words I'll be using to make out a story. But floss is related to tooth. Okay. So floss rule, double S. Floss is having double S, right?
Okay.
So that is why we have just used these, the tooth to represent so that they can, you have to connect things. Seeing tooth, they will connect to floss, and floss is having double S. Okay. And you can also say Miss Hill buzz off. This is the way you can remember Miss Hill buzz off. So Miss S, Hill L, buzz Z, off F. Okay. Okay, we have done. Okay, we have done that C followed by E, I, Y.
Ma'am, 1 second. This thing I was asking, that this floss rules comes out when this Miss Hill buzz off. We have one short vowel and then ending with S
L,
or F.
L, S, F, and Z.
This is the only rule. Okay.
Okay, short vowel followed by L, S, F, Z. Okay.
Okay.
Clear? Okay. Now, if you have short vowel followed by k sound, then C and K both come. A short vowel followed by k sound will have C and K both. Can you give me some examples? I'll just be in a minute. So that is
Ma'am, is this another rule, ma'am?
yes. This is called CK rule.
CK rule. Okay.
Yes. So if you have short vowel, okay, followed by k sound, are you able to see this?
Yes, ma'am.
So short vowel followed by k will have C and K both. Okay. Followed by k, then you will put C and K both. These are short vowels. When short vowel will followed by k, then you will have C and K both. So there's a story where they have a school and then they have many words which they have to make a story. So can you read the words?
Yeah, lick.
Okay, so lick, then you have truck. So it is also called truck rule. Somewhere you will read truck rule. So don't get confused. Truck rule is same. CK rule. Okay. Stick. Okay. Then you have neck. You have sack. Okay. Then you have sock. Deck. Pluck. Okay. So CK rule. Yeah. Now you already know that if C is followed by EIY, it becomes soft, right? Soft C. So if C is not followed by EIY, then what it will say?
And if C is not followed by?
EIY, then which sound will come?
We were talking about CK rule now, isn't it?
CK rule is done.
Yeah.
Okay. Now I am asking.
And then it will be K only.
Yes, yes. So if C is not followed by EIY, then it will be K. So CA, ca, CO, ko, CU, k. Okay. I and Y with K, then you will use K. Okay. There, here you cannot have C. Why? Because if C will come, then it will become C, se, C, right? So if you have K, then it will be KI, KE, and KY. Like in the word kick, kept, kid, sky, kidnap. So if you are hearing E or A or Y sound, I sound, then it will be K, because you know that if C will come, it will become soft. Okay. Skip, napkin. Okay. And similarly, if you have AOU, then it will be C. Cat, cut. Okay. AOU, cat, cut, caught. Got it? So these are some of the rules. If you have any doubt, you can ask me. You have to practice. You have to start your classes. You can take practical experience. If you want to just start, I can give you any student so that you can start immediately and you can practice. And whenever you have any problem, then you can ask me, because if you will not teach, you will not have the confidence and your doubts will not be cleared. Okay.
And the last two rules you talked about, do they have any particular name, like Floss Rule and?
Floss rule, truck rule, CK rule is truck rule.
Yeah.
Okay.
After that also you said
Milk rule, where you use K, that is milk rule. Okay.
Milk rule. Okay.
Yes. So in milk rule, you will find K is coming. Okay. So अभी हमने क्या बोला कि short vowel के बाद में अगर ख sound आता है तो C और K दोनों लगता है, तो वो हो गया ट्रक रूल. और अगर short vowel नहीं है तो K लगेगा, तो वो हो गया मिल्क रूल. ठीक है. आगे जाके एडवांस में हम पढ़ेंगे कि अगर एक साउंड आती है और टू वावल पर, इतना बहुत कंफ्यूजन होगा आपको कि 2 सिलेबल है और एक साउंड है, तो वहां पे सी आता है जैसे पिकनिक, बट वो एडवांस में है. हम बच्चों को स्टेज पे ये सब नहीं बता सकते. ओके.
Do we have a class tomorrow?
If you have any doubts, I can arrange a session where you can please go through everything. Then we can have a class so that you can come up with your queries.
And as you were saying that you can provide children, so will you be there in the class?
No, I don't have time.
So do you mean
you can manage easily?
And do you mean taking classes as sort of a practice, like free of cost? Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
As a practice, okay.
As a practice, so that you develop a confidence.
Yes, I'm okay with that.
Hmm. Okay.
So
And
you'll have to teach us how to arrange the meeting and everything and how to connect with them.
yeah,
And if in case we go wrong,
there's no chance. You have to just follow. You know, there's no chance. You have to follow. Like if I'll give you the student, I'll not give you the student who wants to learn spelling rules. I'll give you for S sound. So there's no mistake.
okay,
You have to go like that.
okay,
It's just so
okay,
you develop a confidence. Okay.
right. I'm okay with that. I'll go ahead. And also, by when we have to, you were saying, no, 2 rules, we have to explain it to you so that we get the
Whenever
certificate.
you have time, you submit your resources and then I'll issue the certificate.